All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Lonis, and I'm head of growth at Próspera. And with Próspera, we're inventing a new industry we call governance as a service. Right? So what we do is we partner with host countries to basically provide the services that governments typically provide, but instead we provide it as a company. Right? So it's a full-stack governance solution that we provide within our zones. And we are live with our first hub on the island of Roatan, outside of Honduras. And why is governance important, though? Why do we care so much? The brief answer is that the quality of governance essentially determines the wealth of nations. Right? So there are many graphs you can look at, but a simple one is here, where on the y-axis you see the GDP per capita of countries, and on the x-axis you see the governance quality, in this case an approximation, which is the ease of doing business. And what you see is this clear correlation that the better the governance quality, the wealthier the nation. And this is true across geographies, across cultural profiles, across racial profiles. What really matters is the governance quality. And so with Próspera, we're doing two things. Number one, we help the countries in the red leapfrog and become wealthy green countries. But also, we think, equally important, the green countries can do much better. They have massive unlocked potential if they had even better governance system, which is what we're working on helping with. And so, to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of how the governance system looks like, right? So on the base level, we have common law system, which is very easy and predictable to work with. We have a regulatory system, so that if you work in a regulated field like biotech, crypto, fintech, construction, you have regulatory choice and regulatory flexibility. We have a simple tax system, which basically aligns our incentives with the businesses in Próspera, right? The more they are successful, the more we earn, essentially. And then we have a justice system based on private arbitration, which is very, quick and affordable. And I'll give you guys an example of what this already has led to, right? So we have this company, Unlimited Bio. And Próspera, it's basically a group of scientists that repurposed a previous drug and found that this actually had very interesting implications for longevity. People seem to live longer and better with this drug. And so they wanted to go to market with this in the US. But they found out that actually this would cost them $500 million and take them more than a decade just to go to market. So instead they went to Próspera, where they could go to market in a few months and at a fraction of the cost. And they now are live in Próspera, they have their first customers, and just a few weeks ago actually Kardashians used their treatment. And this is part of the jurisdictional innovation we're able to unlock, right? We have, I think, the world's first entity API, which allows you to programmatically create and edit Próspera companies. We have an AI legal chatbot that can answer 95% of your legal questions about Próspera or elsewhere, and much more to come. And we're growing quite well. We recently crossed 300 companies incorporated in Próspera. Tax revenue is up to the right, and we have more than 2,000 paying Prosperans. And it's been a very long journey. It's been more than a decade, right? It starts with scouting different jurisdictions, having MOUs and LOIs with different countries, getting the legislation passed, which is by far the hardest part. In Honduras, the legislation was the SEDE legislation, right? But even once you have that, you need to build on top of that the charter, the laws and regulations. You need to create the master plan to bootstrap the physical instantiation of the place. And we are finally now at the place where we almost have gone from 0 to 1. But not quite. We're almost from 0 to 1, but we're still just a little bit short of critical mass. Right? So one thing that I want to impress on all of you here is the massive ability you have to actually help us as a movement go from 0 to 1, and they help us build the first startup city with this full-stack legal autonomy. And we're live with our first hub in Roatan, but we are talking with governments in Eastern Africa, in different parts of Latin America, to expand and have this shared jurisdictional layer all across the world. And it's already happening. We had Infinita. They are building a biotech and crypto district, and they will be having their big tournament in Próspera later next year. We have a Bitcoin district. We have digital nomads, and many more subgroups popping up. So check it out. We have events basically every month, and you really have a massive opportunity to help us go from 0 to 1 by getting involved and see it yourself. Thank you.